feeling the beat?
I'm feeling it.
Oh, all right. Hello, everybody. We're back. This is Kevin, Bonnie Dune, doing our local fat thing.
For Teen Kitchen, we are.
Okay, we know this routine. Everyone knows this routine already.
I know, okay.
We know this is Teen Kitchen.
But we are like a few days behind.
Hold on. No, this is not Teen Kitchen. We're doing this for Teen Kitchen. I'm sorry, continue.
We're a few days behind.
Yeah, so we are. We were supposed to film on Wednesday and Friday, and for the record, I wanted to. I desperately wanted to, but I was tied up, bound, and gagged in the basement of our house. Renata wouldn't let me. So
you know how things work out, right?
It's all her fault. It's not mine. All right.
What's happening? What are we doing? It's a rainy day. We have a fire.
It's raining like bat out of hell outside, which is kind of nice for May
17th.
May 17th, which by coincidence happens to be, excuse me, slurring already, happens to be my firstborn's birthday today. So, happy birthday to ya. Anyway, so raining, we're here. We're actually gonna do something now. And because it's raining and we wanna do something, I wanna make bread because we all need more bread. Some of us need more than others. Anyway, so today we're gonna make focaccia. The reason why is because focaccia is one of those things that we need to do without a recipe. I'm a huge believer that on certain things, the recipe's gotta go out the damn door and we gotta do this a different way. So today, we're shooting this a little differently because it's gonna be a little, let's say, cruder than normal. Not to say that we've ever been
We're trying a new angle.
Oh, we're trying a new angle. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Anyway, so let's go over this real quick. Focaccia. There's a lot of different ways of doing focaccia. There's a lot of different end results. But let's crawl before we walk, shall we? Because this is the thing that's most important. You can become more nuanced as you progress in your evolution of things. But for now, let's do the very first simple steps. First things first, ingredients. All this, yes, Renata, since you were gonna ask.
I know, I did. But you know what? You've been making this for at least 15 years plus, right?
How long have we been together?
It's coming up on what? Tomorrow is 19
Tomorrow's our
years.
anniversary.
Tomorrow is our anniversary. And there's stories already.
And it's like, what, 1,000 years we've been together?
Oh my God.
990. Anyway,
Help.
pure love in my heart. So yeah, we've been making this for a long time. But the point is, ingredients. We're going back to ingredients. We're going to post everything. So keep it simple, right? We need flour. You need salt, which is super critical. Yes, the quality of the salt is important, so don't buy that iodized crap because it's crap. We need yeast. You can do the fresh cake yeast, or in this case, I'm just doing the dried compressed because this is what most people can buy. And then we need a little sugar. We need a little oil, right? And we need a liquid. So if you are of the dairy-free mode, as I am, you could use water. However, for the sake of doing this, I am going to forsake my health for yours, and we're going to use half water, half milk. Now,
We're living large now. Hey.
I'm not living large.
No,
They're
no.
living large.
Okay.
I'm living large through them. That's what we want to say, right?
Okay.
All right. So, here we go. It's blustery outside.
It is. It is.
Too hot. Okay. So, with the liquid, being water, or in this case, hybrid water of milk and water, the important part here is to do this at a temperature. Oh, did I add everything? Yeah, no, never mind.
What are you thinking you're forgetting?
I forget things all the time anymore. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, what were we doing? No, I'm kidding. So we're gonna take the milk and the water and we're gonna add a little heat to it. Now, how much heat do you ask?
I know. I'm just kind of entranced with you.
You know, I'm kind of feeling like she's a little behind the boat, if you know what I mean.
It's Sunday, and it's Sunday. So how hot is the milk water combination?
Thank you for asking. Well, since you asked, what we're talking about here is tepid.
Oh,
Do we all know what tepid means?
it won't burn you.
For people who have had babies, tepid should be this thing that they know. There's a couple places on the human body that measure tepid. Okay, this little part right here, right? This little part right here, but it looks really stupid. Like when I was in cooking school and we had to temper chocolate, they would make us get chocolate to a certain temperature. That temperature is supposed to be the same temperature as your body temperature in order to temper it properly. So they would make you take a little spoonful of chocolate and dip it right here on your, it's ridiculous. I think they did it for fun because we all look like a bunch of, anyway. But the idea is that it should be the same, basically the same temperature as your body. So you should be able to take it, put a little bit on your wrist, or just feel it. You know, you don't have to be as special as I am. And once it's that temperature, you can add the yeast. Now, mind you, I said that there's this hybrid milk water mixture. There's the flour, salt, yeast, and sugar, right? Oh, and oil.
What kind of oil?
In this case, I use a blend of oil. It's olive oil and grapeseed, which you guys know because I always just talk about this. But anyway, the point being is that there is an order to how you put these things together. For instance,
So this could be quick focaccia pizza. This
Yeah,
could
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
like-
So,
what's
listen.
our timeline again? Again, what is our timeline? How,
for making it from
for
start to
making-
finish,
Could this be a dinner for eating bread for dinner, which we do sometimes?
is that what we're doing tonight?
No.
I hope not. Anyway, so timeline would be really like, I would like to say an hour and a half, 2 hours max, but that's providing you're kind of organized and you've got a conducive, humidity controlled, environmentally charged environment, which means you want your room to be in the high 70s, early 80s at least, which most of us don't have, but there's ways. There's ways. We all have stoves and there's little secrets. So anyway, tepid liquid, right? And the reason for this is I'm trying to explain the sequence of ingredients. Once our liquid is tepid, we're gonna add the yeast. We're gonna put the yeast in there, in this case the dry instant yeast. We're gonna put it in there until it so-called blooms or activates. That's gonna take 15 minutes-ish. And you'll know when you put it in, it'll start to bubble a bit and you'll start seeing foamy kind of stuff all happening. This is really, really important. Once you have that spot, then you're gonna add your flour, you're gonna add your sugar, and you're gonna, part of your flour, all of your sugar, excuse me. I'm gonna do it all right here, so like, I'm just talking.
So there are steps. So we have the tepid milk combination.
Okay. So I'm gonna pour that in. So
We don't have the big daddy mixer. What do we do?
roll up your sleeves, baby.
So we're in a bowl, right?
No. I mean, well, hypothetically, yeah. Or if you have a KitchenAid mixer at home,
Okay,
right?
KitchenAid,
That
okay.
totally works. It's just a little baby version of that, right?
Right.
And this is like a little baby version of the.
Right.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crank this up because it's a little more than tepid. It's a little warm, and I'm gonna let this cool for just a second. So we're gonna add this. We'll add the yeast. We'll let the yeast bloom. 15 minutes, give or take. We're gonna add a portion of the flour. Once we add the flour, then we're gonna alternate between flour, oil, and salt.
We definitely have to give a recipe on this one.
No, there's no recipe. That's
There's
the
no-
point. Here's the point. Thank you. This is very, very important. This is the most important part of it. So, how much liquid you have dictates everything else, right? So you can literally, like right now, I've got about a quart and a half of liquid in total. It's raining outside, which means that if it was sunny outside, I would use less flour than I'm going to use today. The more humidity is in the room, the more flour it's going to take and it's going to absorb, give or take. So the whole point being is that you have to pay attention to the details here. Okay, so we have this, and right now the temperature is good. So we're just gonna go for it. Yeast, We're using dried yeast. I've got 1.5 quarts of compressed dried yeast. Well, I had some, but now I spilled it. So we've got about 1.5 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons. We're gonna add that. We're gonna let that mix around. Now keep in mind, in a perfect world, we're gonna let this sit for about 15 minutes, give or take. But for the sake of this, it doesn't really matter because you're not gonna eat this one, so you'll have an idea. Once it's moving, oh, I gotta show you what's going on, so come here.
Here we go.
Let me see. Don't look up my nose, please. All right, so here we go. So you can see right now the milk and the yeast are moving around, right? And it's starting to clump a little bit and foam a little bit. All this stuff is very important. Once I get here, then I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna start adding flour. My lovely assistant Renata, see, she's hiding. We're going to have her do that. And I'm gonna start adding flour. Little bits at a time. Now I'm gonna add a little sugar. And the sugar is entirely up to you, but you can see how much I'm adding, right? In this case. Then I'm gonna add a little bit more flour. And we're gonna leave our machine roll until it starts turning into a dough. And I did not measure how much flour I have. Clearly, I am literally just adding flour until it starts turning into a dough. Now, remember, I started with about 1.5 quarts of liquid. I'm gonna add a little oil. So, 1.5 quarts of liquid, I'm gonna add about 1/2 cup of oil. Okay. Oh, and now I'm gonna add salt. Salt is obviously to taste, but we're talking about, this is bread, so it's gonna absorb quite a bit. I would say you're gonna add about at least 1 tablespoon of salt. You can test it as you go. Now it's gonna get a little tricky. We're gonna see how it's starting to turn into a ball. It's pulling off the bowl a little bit. I'm gonna crank up the speed a little bit because you guys are getting bored of me and I'm getting tired. And we're gonna let this roll. Ideally speaking, we'd want this to knead for about 5 or 10 minutes. It should be pulling away from the bowl. It should be super dry and clean. And then we let that roll, right? So while this is going, Renata can go back and we can keep talking. I'll pass it back off. Oh, Jesus, she's tripping and knocking out the lights. Everything's going sideways. Oh, there we go. We're better now. Okay, so this, like I said, we're gonna let this roll. I'm gonna pass you back to Renata. Hi, Renata.
Hi.
All right, here we go. Okay, so now that that's rolling, let me explain what's next. Because what's next is gonna be really just discussion. Once it's done, we're gonna take it out of the bowl and we're gonna knead it on the table for like 2 minutes with a little bit of flour just to make it not sticky. You're gonna put it in a stainless steel bowl. If I had a stainless steel bowl that was available, I'll show you. Stainless steel bowl, a little oil on the inside, cover it, put it on top of your stove.
Christmas.
Look at this. Okay, brush it with a little oil, put your ball of dough in there, drop or drape a piece of towel over it or whatnot, put it on your stove top, turn on your oven, not your burners, your oven, turn it on to 375. The heat from the oven is gonna come up and start warming this bowl. What you're looking for is the dough to double in size. So wherever it is, it should be double. It'll take you realistically half hour, 40 minutes, give or take. Once that's done, you're gonna take a vessel that you're gonna cook it on.
Shiny.
A shiny, brand new steel sheet pan. And you're going to put a copious amount of oil on the bottom, right? I'll show you real quick. So, well, let's just do this. I believe in hands. So, take your hands, spread the oil all over the bottom. And And then once that dough is done, you're gonna dump it on here and you're gonna start working it out with your fingertips until it hits all 4 corners. Okay? Clear? Once it's on all 4 corners, our dough is looking very nicely, I should say. Once it's on all 4 corners, excuse me, we have to go through another rising process. But here's the deal. You want to put something on top of it, you want to add some flavor to it. So, frequently, I will take ratty old herbs and all kinds of greens that start to wilt in our fridge and everywhere else that I can find. And once these things start to get kind of gnarly and don't want to use anymore, I save them. I will take those and I will put them in a mixer like that Roboku and puree them and turn them into a paste. Can we see that? Mm-hmm. Oil this garlic and onion. Pulse it, turn it into a gnarly looking paste. Spread it over your dough or over the bread after it's reached all 4 corners. And then you're gonna put it in the proofing box. This is what it's gonna look like.
Proofing box. Well, just happen to have one of those in
did
my
I say
closet.
put it in the proofing box?
Come on. Real world, buddy. Real world.
Oh, these peasants, it's so hard for me. Anyway, sorry. No, if you don't have a proofing box, what I meant to say was back on top of your oven where the heat is approximately 80-ish in the room to make it faster. I did one of these already, obviously, so you guys can see visually what the hell it is I'm talking about. So, this one just came out. And so you can see that it was at all 4 corners. I used my fingers like this through it. That's why there's all these holes in it. I took a big handful of this stuff while it was raw, slathered it over the top, added salt, threw it in the oven. 375.
Oh, really? You keep it going that long?
This?
Yeah.
Almost 20 minutes.
So you would do that in the KitchenAid?
Yeah, providing your speed's not too fast.
What about if you don't have a KitchenAid?
Then you gotta do it by hand.
And that takes a while.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be kneading it for 20 minutes, but it's going to definitely take a little while. So I'll show you what it looks like real quick. So the elasticity is what's really important here. I'll pull this out. So this is a relatively small ball of dough. But you know the greatest thing about this dough is that when your spouse is kind of getting on your nerves,
such as quarantine time,
you can mix your dough. All right, so the point is, it gets on the table. This is what I was talking about kneading, right? You're pulling to you, you're doing a quarter turn, you're spinning it, and you're just gonna do this until you're in a ball. A nice, smooth, baby's bottom ball. Okay, this is what the dough will look like right before you put it in the ball or in the bowl with the oil, and then go through the rest of the process. So, 375-ish. It's going to take about 20 minutes, give or take. I hope this makes sense. If it does, please try it. It is really worth it. Remember that this is all happening today, even in the rain, for Team Kitchen, because we're trying to support these guys. This is Kevin from Bonnie Doon making focaccia with you lovely people. Have a lovely Sunday.